Hello, Seiiti Arata. Today we're going to talk about prejudice, specifically the labeling of people, which was the topic of episode 4 at arata.se/hello04. Labels move us away from true knowledge. Labeling happens when I form an initial impression and I find it difficult for that impression to evolve, even when I'm facing situations that should prove me wrong because my perception is soiled by prejudice. If, for example, I hear that Adrian is a greedy and selfish person, that's the label, and I see him working very late, that simple, objective fact of working late will be interpreted by me as a confirmation that Adrian really wants to earn money above everything else. He's not interested in social life, he doesn't care about family life. And if I hear that Brittany is a dedicated and kind person, which is also a label, and I see Brittany working late, I will interpret the same objective fact of working late as a confirmation that she is willing to make personal sacrifices to provide a better life for the people she loves, and she battles through hardships. I might even think that Adrian doesn't deserve the money he earns, because that extra work that he's doing right now is stealing someone else's opportunity. But now, Brittany, just look at her dedication. She therefore deserves a better life. I might even think that she should earn more, since she works harder than everybody else. When I see Adrian avoiding buying a new pair of shoes, it proves that he is a despicable, miserable man. And when Brittany avoids buying a new pair of shoes, well, that proves that she is thoughtful and minimalist, and she doesn't spend money on superficial things. I met with Adrian on Sunday. He was carrying a book. Well, of course, I concluded that he is aloof, without social life, he doesn't care about people, he's bitter, he doesn't have friends. Oh, I met Brittany on Sunday too. She was carrying a book. Besides being beautiful and kind, she's also intelligent and she's always learning new things and sharing them with others. You get the point, right? Labels come with prejudice. Faced with the same behavior, we can label someone as an angel or a demon depending on our prejudice. And notice that everyone has prejudice. Prejudice is the initial impression, the preconception. We just don't want to get stuck in our prejudice without evolving past the surface, the gossip, the first impression. So we need to develop the ability to keep refining our perception as we gather new information, to avoid holding on to our labels, to allow ourselves to listen to the truth, to become curious about people, knowing also that they change. And here's a bonus tip. All of this also applies to you and all the labels that you have ever placed on yourself. And more importantly, don't be a slave to your own labels. More precisely, don't be a slave to the labels that your prejudice has created. And be careful of the self-fulfilling prophecy. To understand this, imagine a healthy bank. Imagine that although this bank is quite solid, if every client hears and believes a rumor that the bank will go bankrupt, there is exactly what will happen. Everyone will want to withdraw their money immediately at the same time, and the bank may go under. This is the self-fulfilling prophecy. It is a false definition of a situation that stimulates a certain behavior, which in turn becomes a truth. A definition that was previously false has come to pass. If I start a relationship thinking it won't last long because, well, she will cheat on me, that belief will make me into a suspicious person, always looking for clues, violating my partner's privacy to avoid being cheated and so on, and the result is an awful relationship that won't last long. And on top of it all, I will say, well, I knew it would happen. What about you? Are you a slave to the labels that your prejudice has created? Are the results that you reap today, or those that you don't, limited by a label that was put on you? Is your self-worth determined by the way in which others treat you? Is there a previous failure whispering in your ear that everything can happen again, so it's better not to try at all? Do you feel difficulty dealing with some people because you always find negative meanings in their behavior? Maybe you wish you had a better relationship with someone, but you find difficult to accept some of his or her behaviors due to some labels that you have already assigned them in the past. And let's go even deeper. Does the way you deal with yourself bring about bitterness and regret? How do you label your own story? Wouldn't it be healthier to go behind the labels and realize that behind your behaviors there is a multitude of interpretations? And while you blame yourself for not having achieved this or that, while you blame yourself for being immature, irresponsible, remember, there are good things that you achieved. There are dreams that you fought for, values that guided your journey. Reality allows for many points of view. It's just a question of choosing which one to focus on. So if you're a person who wishes to increase your self-knowledge and who wants to participate in one of Arata Academy's training sessions, my recommendation right now is to start by visiting the link arata.se/focus course.